The fourth day of IUCN's World Conservation Congress started early for the Future Leaders team of the World Business Council for Sustainable Development. They joined a regular cleanup of the Bomok port organized by local people. People and their dependency on nature and the role of conservation in tackling poverty are at the center of attention of today's discussions and events.
I think there is huge potential in humankind in general and in many communities in particular. And as our work is closely connected to those communities, I see precisely the capacity that we have, the opportunity that we have to change their lives, to change the lives of people, and also to improve the quality of ecosystems. So nothing is lost. This is a good moment, this is a good opportunity, but it's also a moment that cannot be wasted.
The Biodiversity and Protected Areas Management Program, or BioPAMA, was launched today by IUCN, the European Commission, and the German Development Cooperation. Countries covered by this initiative in Africa, the Caribbean and the Pacific host not only a great number of nature hotspots, but at least 220 different indigenous groups.
BioPAMA is a long conservation effort on biodiversity and also is linked with poverty reduction.
Mangroves for the Future, a program aimed at investing in coastal ecosystems, launched a publication on small grants and lessons learned from actions on the ground.
We're very fortunate with mangroves that they generate a lot of livelihood services, so that by restoring and protecting mangroves you automatically increase fish production and you give a lot of alternatives to the people that depend on the mangroves for food, for livelihood and even for their personal safety.
High seas, those beyond national jurisdiction, make up 64% of the world's oceans and nearly 50% of the planet's entire surface. However, governments meeting in Rio last June failed to reach an agreement on how to best conserve and sustainably manage the high seas.
So we're trying to update and evolve the Law of the Sea Convention, which is now 30 years old, in order to incorporate new concepts of marine protected areas, biodiversity conservation, marine spatial planning, environmental impact assessments. We're hoping to see governments grapple with these needs, with these concepts, and to continue moving within the United Nations and in their home governments.
Can we achieve conservation without sacrificing social justice? And how to make sure that the benefits of nature are equally shared by rich and poor was debated at today's World Leaders Dialogue series. The distinguished panelists included the Executive Secretary of UN's Convention to Combat Desertification, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Gabon, and other prominent figures from government, conservation and the private sector. The Citizens Institute of Environmental Studies of Korea, along with Green Korea United, organized a press conference to highlight the environmental impact assessment of the Jeju Naval Base. Just as during the 3 previous days, delegates rushing through the halls of Jeju International Convention Center were treated to a festival of social events and performances.